What was most intellectually stimulating working in private equity operations?
So there's this framework that I'd probably mentioned to you. There's two books that I really like. There's one, and a bunch of books by Ken Wilber, which talk about complexity. And there's a book called Spiral Dynamics, which is by a psychologist, developmental psychologist, Beck. And these books both talk about a predictable way that people go through lives and the way they perceive things. And the way that they see it is that the more a person is able to observe, understand, and be comfortable with the complexity of the world, the better they're able to act on that world in a way that's, number one, going to make the biggest difference. And number two is the best for multiple constituents. I think it's a pretty good framework. And it's not complete and it's not holistic, but it's pretty good. At KKR, I found out that my old way of thinking about things didn't have the kind of complexity necessary to achieve what I wanted to achieve in the world. So I found out that me looking at things from a more simplistic standpoint and a more structured point of view was not always right. And it had forced me to confront this new concept and this new way of thinking, which required more complexity, more nuance, and a little bit more understanding of the world. And that was the first time in my life when I'd really been forced to break on that mental construct.
Did that change your definition of sacrifice, given what you had learned through the college experience and early career experience?
Absolutely. Absolutely. It forced me to really think about whether or not every day I felt like was a sacrifice. You know, I was doing something for a later payoff that I didn't necessarily enjoy doing that day. And even when I was doing things like opera, and you know, I couldn't go out and party with my friends because I had to not drink. That sacrifice always felt to me like a noble sacrifice and one that I wanted to do. But at KKR, I mean, it was one of the best places I've ever worked. But it also forced me to confront the fact that I didn't love every minute of my sacrifice. And so you're right. It really made me think about what am I willing to sacrifice to get what I want out of life? And in what ways am I willing to sacrifice? And you know, drawing that line was helpful because I might not have otherwise drawn it.